Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back once again. Sitting out back. I love these videos. You guys love these videos. Let's keep doing them, huh? How's that sound? Sounds good to me. Y'all, if you do enjoy these, like the videos. This isn't like, everybody says that with like video games and stuff. Like, leave a like and subscribe. But for these types of videos, like, you guys liking these really does translate to me like, hey, Molt, you're doing a good job, you know? So anytime you watch one of these videos, if you do enjoy them, let me know, okay? You don't have to like it, you can leave a comment, but just let me know in some way or another that you enjoy these. A lot of people come to my streams whenever I'm on Twitch and say, yo, I watched a recent video, I loved it, dude, I love those videos. I get so many more compliments on these videos than I do anything else, it's crazy. But today what we're talking about is video games and whether or not they're good for you. And for me, my perspective on it is yes, within reason. Just like drinking some wine is good for you, within reason. If you drink a lot of wine, that's not too good for you. So video games, I think, are the same way. Now, I'm 30 years old, so I went through middle school, high school, and I went to college for 5 years. Took a little victory lap, okay, because I changed my major too many times. So I've been through all these different stages. And I am somebody who in high school was a BC student, okay, so I wasn't too smart. I didn't even get into the University of South Carolina. I went to Western Carolina University first and transferred over to USC. My first semester at USC, I think I got a 2.3, not too good, but I ended up graduating with a 3.6 or a 3.8, something like that. So I worked really, really hard and brought it back and applied myself. But here's my view on video games, okay? I would dare to say that playing video games has helped me become a more decisive, problem-solving person. I don't think you can really get that from a book. I don't think you can really get that from studying. Now, yeah, there's a squirrel on the fence over here and Millie's about to freak out. Go get it. Y'all about to hear her bark. Sorry, I got distracted. See, that shows you that's why I wasn't too good in class. I got distracted way too easily. But like, okay, say you have 60 questions and you have to answer them in an hour. Okay, yeah, it kind of makes you decisive, but at the same time, no, not really. I don't think that it does. It does to a certain extent, but not as great as playing video games does. And some people might disagree with me, but I'm just letting you guys know how I learn. And as being an adult now, how I can see the shift. In retrospect, looking back at it, I can look and say, okay, like, yeah, I can see how this helped me. So this is me talking from my own personal experience. I'm not a scientist. I don't study brains. I don't study any of that. I'm just talking about me from personal experience. I have missed out on so many car accidents, I would say, because of some of the decisiveness that playing video games has given me. I'm very aware to my surroundings, just like you guys saw now. I was looking at this and saw a squirrel out of the corner of my eye, and paid attention to it. I'm very aware of things, and I think that playing video games has helped me make that better, and that has also made me better at video games. But I'm always just kind of aware of my surroundings, and if something happens, I know how to respond immediately because I'm aware of my surroundings. Just like if I'm building in Fortnite and I know that something is over here, like, I don't know. I'm sure that you understand what I'm saying, how you see a problem and you think a couple moves ahead, just like for a lot of people that play chess. I don't play chess, but I respect chess players' minds so much because they're problem solvers. They're thinking ahead. And in a vehicle, you can do that as well. Like, I always know like what color the cars are behind me on my right side and my left side, depending on which lane I'm in. Because that way I know if something happens on my left or my right side, I can very quickly look, see where these cars are, and like know what's going on. And I think a lot of that has come from playing video games. Now, obviously, like I said earlier, within reason. too much of a good thing is a bad thing. When you make a good thing a God thing, it becomes a bad thing. And what that saying is that when you make something that's good and ultimate, that's when it can become bad. When you put a good thing first above all else, that's when it can be bad. Now, for me as a Christian, God is first in my life. God is above my family. God is above YouTube and work. God is above Rachel, my fiance. And for Rachel, God is above me. I wouldn't want to be first in her life because I will fail her and He will not. And so whether you believe that or not, whether you believe in God or not, still I believe that when you make something that can be good for you and ultimate, then it can very easily become a bad thing. If you are a businessman and you put work before everything else, I think it'll end up being bad for you in the long run. So if you're a parent with kids, because some of you could be, I'm 30 years old. I'm sure that there are some people that are 30 that have 14-year-olds. And they probably like playing video games. If that's the case, meet them in that. So meet them where they are and say, okay, so they like playing video games. Obviously you need to limit it and be there with them for some of it, and it affects their anger and things like that, and they need to step away. But for me, like the way that I learn, if I had a test that I had to study for, I would go out in my garage on my skateboard. I would skate around, do kickflips, shove-its, all the little tricks, whatever. I had a rail, and I had cards. I had note cards in my hand with everything I needed to quiz myself on. I memorized that stuff so much faster that way than I did other ways. So that just shows that like my mind works differently. Now, I'm not saying play a match of Fortnite and quiz yourself while you're playing it. Maybe you could if you had a friend with you while you're playing. They say, okay, when was the Battle of 1814? I don't freaking know. And then they say 1814, obviously. But, I mean, you could quiz somebody that way if their mind works like that. You never know. Be creative with how you challenge your kids to study. Because I wasn't smart, and I needed to find other ways to study. But also, if you are a younger person and your parents don't want you playing video games because you're doing bad in school, do better in school, and then they'll let you play video games. Or at least show them that you're trying. Like my parents knew that I was a different kind of learner. I learned differently. I had a tutor that came over and helped me and all this kind of stuff. And it was just different for me. I was smart in other ways. And so if you're one of those people, have a conversation with your parents. Don't just argue with them. Have a conversation with your parents. I just argued with my parents. Now I know you need to have a conversation with them. If you show them that you respect them and you respect their opinion, say, yeah, you know what? School is important, Mom. School is important, Dad. I'm trying. I'm going to show you guys that I'm trying. I also really enjoy playing video games, and I feel like they help me with problem solving and decisiveness, but I'm not going to let them get in the way of my school. If you show them that and then your grades get better, then I would imagine that your parents would be like, oh, okay, his grades are doing better. Yeah, sure, he can play video games. But the moment that video games make your grades get bad again, nope. You're not playing them anymore, or you're doing less. That's just my kind of view on that. Also, guys, one thing that I wanted to very briefly touch on is violent video games. There's a lot of stuff in the news lately, and just want to let y'all know, like, none of this is being insensitive or anything like this. My heart aches for the victims of shootings like in Florida and other places. My heart aches for them, and I don't understand how somebody can do that. And a lot of politicians and other people are trying to put the fault on violent video games. And here's my view on it. Can a violent video game cause somebody to go in and shoot people? Yeah, of course it could. Yeah, that makes sense, sure. Can being bullied cause somebody to go and shoot people? Yes, most certainly. Can not making the varsity baseball team cause somebody somewhere to be so upset and have their identity challenged so much that they do something that they would have never thought of doing before? Yeah, I'm sure that there's somebody out there whose mind works like that. And so my view on it is, no, I don't believe that we need to get rid of violent video games. Because if you get rid of violent video games, then you need to throw people in jail for bullying. I just think that there's so many different things that can come into play in this that need to be focused on, and I think there needs to be a lot of research done on it. Just like there has been research done on like serial killers in the past, I think that the same needs to be done for people who commit school shootings and survive. I think that we need to figure out what they say made them do it, whether our minds work like theirs or not, and most of the time they don't. But figuring out what made them do it, I think, could give us some sort of a perspective into preventing it. You know what I mean? And again, that I don't want that to sound insensitive or anything. But we have so many scientists and so many brilliant people that study things in an attempt to prevent them. Just like kids with special needs and autism and things like that. Like there are a lot of studies that go on to help their lives be better and to help us love them better. And I think that if there can be studies that go into this, it could help us love those people better before they commit this crime, thus preventing it. And maybe violent video games are bad for them. Then they shouldn't play them. But I don't think I don't think that saying that violent video games are the cause of it is appropriate. It may be in certain scenarios, but banning them or getting rid of them, I don't think is the right thing to do there. So that's just my very brief opinion on that, y'all. Again, not being insensitive in any way. If any of you have been affected by school shootings or anything like that, my heart goes out to you. I don't understand it, and I don't know how I would feel if I was personally affected by it. Seeing that type of stuff on the news always just breaks my heart, and really, really causes me to just question a lot of stuff. And I think that's why people are freaking out and say, get rid of video games, because it is such a crazy thing that we don't want to happen anymore. And so they're just grasping at anything to get rid of to see if it'll prevent it. But I think there's going to be a lot more that goes into it to help with that. But that's just my perspective on it. I saw some people mentioning it in my stream and just asking my opinion on it, so I thought I would mention it at the end of this video. But the main point of this video, I think, was just whether or not video games are good or can be good for you. And for people with our minds, yes, I think that video games are good for me within reason. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the next one. Peace out.